Hello, Reverend.
Oh.
Saluto.
Yes, Papa.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and thank you also for the call, the follow-up call. You know, everybody be at church with way it happen with the church. And you know, majority of our people are not Christian. Then whether you be Presbyterian or not, everybody is very, very
Of course, you're a Christian.
Yes.
You're right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's good you have called. I don't know whether I should listen to you, but I also have a lot of things I just want to talk to you and to listen to you. So
I can start. The thing I can say here is that it's so unfortunate that whole struggle has now turned to hear the church and its leaders, which to me is an unfortunate situation. A situation occurred in a church. We reacted and condemned the situation, but it looks as if people thought that we should be calling names, and that is what will make a church a church. Whether we call names or not, the fact is that the consequences of the crisis are having a toll on our people, and that is what we are condemning. And whether we call names, it will not change the fact that there is a lot that is causing our people to go under real problems, sufferings, and torture. So when they have decided to use the church now to solve the problems, I just tell myself that, well, the church is God's church. It's not any individual's.
Hello.
It's not an institution of any individual. So we leave the things to God and see how God will fight his own battle over his own institution. That's all I can say, my dear brother.
But you know, Reverend, when something happened like this, we have been in the war already for 4 years. And when something happened, people want the particular incident to be addressed, because this is a very traumatic event. This is the first time we have seen our parents putting on the Presbyterian uniform, carrying their pastor into the hospital emergency ward, carrying a sister that everybody can relate with, Sister Grace, her dead body into the mortuary. Is very traumatic to everybody. And it's a particular incident. It is not as usual that we expected at least the church to address the particular incident before even talking about the crisis or the war. That is the expectation. Don't you think it's a reasonable expectation?
Yeah, the problem was addressed. If you have read my comment, is that it's a communique that I was attacked on because it did not all go well to the government. I was placed in the fix. And in such critical situation and events that affected the church against the international, it's a situation that is sensitive, that it's no investigation and it's not to book. So I could not, in that kind of crossfire that was between two people, to start taking sides when the bullets that went into the church were stray bullets. So you will not know which bullets went to where, but I've asked my question in my video in Bonamusadi that nobody is talking about the cause of what happened. And now it has turned out to be as if the church is protecting somebody, the church is not open enough, the church and its leaders are liars, and I've said all kinds of things. Who is that church leader that will condone what happened on that day? Who is that church leader that will want to see people treated in worship space? Who is the church leader that will accept to see his own dying under the conditions in which we are? Sees and evaluates the things from that perspective. They just want the church to because to me, If the church is, let's put it the way they want, if the church is transparent, which the church was in that situation, will that end the war? No. What the church is trying to say in this incident is to declare that what happened that day is unacceptable, no matter who did it. It's unacceptable. And we don't seem to see that part. Because if we say, okay, these people did it, I will not say it is unacceptable. We have not solved the problem. If we don't even give some measures that we should have a ceasefire, we should have a dialogue and things like that, then we are not a church.
The thing is, you have more focus about the war as a whole than your own Christian.
Why should I not the war?
Because this particular incident happens to your own pastor, your own woman in the church that have come to the church under your own shelter. Why this particular incident seems to be you are minimizing it and focusing on the war when this is the particular thing that I've taught you?
That's a wrong assumption. It's not the least. You minimized it. I'm not minimized.
Hello? They're not.
Yes, that's an assumption from your end. I'm not minimizing it.
Because when you are talking, you are keep on talking about the war. If you even measure how many things you talk about the war more about this particular pastor or Sister Grace. And just to go back, one thing you said, Pastor, you said that there was you don't know where the bullet is coming. Did you watch the videos that came from your church members that are on social media?
No, Papa, what I'm trying to say is that in clear terms, nobody has analyzed and stated clearly what started that shootout. Let's begin from there. Nobody has analyzed what started that shootout. That shootout that led to the death of a Christian.
The thing is that, why should you be concerned about what led to the shootout? Why are you not focused on the shootout
in every crisis situation, if you want to solve the problem, you must look at it from all the angles. You cannot look at the final situation without looking at the genesis of the situation.
Because that morning, around that church area,
I'm saying, dear brother, what I'm saying is that you cannot only look at the end result without looking at what caused that end result. If you want to be objective in any given situation, you must look at the end result and also look at the cause of that end result.
Okay, I already want to ask you about this particular incident and your account because it is very important for people to understand because the stakes in particularly for the church is high. But let me just digress and ask you about what happened before this death happened. If you are talking about the big picture, are you talking about the reason why the war is going on? Or you are talking about the military that...
I'm talking about a particular Sunday. If we want to analyze the situation of that particular Sunday, we should start from where it started and how it ended.
Okay.
And that can only be done by a credible investigation organization.
Okay. Let me ask you one thing.
We have that.
There is one thing, Pastor.
We are writing to Human Rights Watch and we are writing to the Human Rights Commission here in this country. We cannot let the thing go. We are very concerned about it. We will not let it be brought for nothing. And the topics we got to book. If we cannot bring them to.
Pastor, are you aware of the fact that there was only the Cameroon military in that church vicinity when that incident happened that carried gun? There was no Amba present in that area.
I cannot know that until there's an investigation. But
do you know that the military came to the church when the dead body of Grace was still in the church?
Please, I don't stand to answer those questions because it is one-sided. The way you're asking your questions, they are one-sided. Let us leave this thing in the hands of God, and let us together, you and me, look for investigators to tell us what really happened on that day. You are far there in China. I'm here in Cameroon. We cannot do this thing on assumptions.
No, we are not.
We cannot do them on assumptions. It's a very serious issue.
Reverend, just because you are in Douala does not mean you don't have access to information. We all have heard from the people who were in the church.
All of us have access to information, and that information will be validated through an investigation. We should not investigate that case.
Pastor, you made a press release analyzing this incident on the same day of the incident. Did you have any investigation? Did you have any report, or did you talk to the people on the ground before you made that report?
When I made a release on that event, I did not take sides because I had not any investigation. I stated the problems our people went through, and I decried that incident, that it was uncalled for, and I said it was a deplorable situation and very demonic, and that the culprit should be brought to book through an investigation. I did not take any sides because I didn't have any clear investigation on that situation.
But on paragraph 3 of your letter, you said that there was an explosion outside the church before the bullets came. That is what you said. So before you made that statement, did you make any investigation?
No, that is not in my communique.
In your communique, you describe what happened. You actually talk about the gunshot and there was an explosion close to the church. What you use is close to the church.
Yeah, those things happened. A gunshot and an explosion. But the truth is that I did not draw any conclusion as to who brought in the explosion and as to who brought in the guns.
Reverend, there was no explosion close to the church. I've talked to 6 members in the church. There are videos that came out from the incident. There was absolutely no explosion close to the church. There was an explosion about 7 o'clock.
There was an explosion.
No, there was an explosion in Naka.
The explosion was near the church.
No, you said close to the church.
I did not say the explosion was near the church.
You said
never
close.
said that the explosion was near the church. But there was an explosion.
You said close to the church. The explosion was 7 o'clock in Naka. That is about 15-minute drive to the church area, and it happened at 7 o'clock.
I think, Papa, if we go on with this discussion like this, it's like we are in a court and we are trying to defend ourselves.
No, we have to.
This is a moment for us to start defending ourselves. This is a moment for us to put our heads together to see how we can bring to a stop what these atrocities that are happening in our country. It's not something for us to be debating on an issue, because till today, the incident, for instance, like the one that happened in Kumba with the 7 children dead, we don't even know who did what, and so many other incidences. So to us, we cannot stay quiet and continue to see our people die. So we should put our heads together and see how we can bring to stop this problem. It's not about knowing where the problems are coming from or who is doing what.
Reverend, you remember...
I think to me that's my position, and we should stop the discussion because no more necessary.
Reverend, you remember when this uprising started? You were dragged to the court in Bamenda by the government, and the whole nation stood beside you.
Together to see how we can. If that is not our interest, we cannot do it. Because my interest is for us to accomplish our people. Our people are so that are far away from our people every day. So if that's not your concern and you want to prosecute me because I'm saying the things on the ground, then stop this conversation.
No, the anger that is coming from the youth.
Stop this. I'm telling you that.
So our mommy them, our papa them, good people for Southern Cameroon. Now Rev Fonki Samuel, that the moderator for Presbyterian Church. Unaran here, uduna ear, how it be dishonest and how it lie. When Cameroon military he kill somebody like Grace, we then go all in life for church. For Presbyterian church, they collect offering 3 times every Sunday. Military can kill it, shoot the pastor. Or would they expect na say me the moderator he talk the truth? When I hear how he don't talk, say make we stay quiet, make no man no talk, make we wait me investigation. It happened. The foreigner say he be a fat liar because he no wait me investigation. It happened before he give his own report. As a matter of fact, he give a report that same day before evening he want reach. He give that report likely because he the one help Cameroon government for put something where they go take and defend themselves when the international community he put pressure for this war crime. If to say he be being an honest person, where he talk say me go wait investigation. He says inside his report he don't narrate all which way happen. Why he no be wait for investigation? It means say he did just make an excuse for hide he lies where he don't show for all side where all man is sabi. He talk say there was an explosion close to that church. Nobody he never talk about any explosion close to that church. When I hear he says he talk say there was a return fire. Who was shooting? There was only one military on that particular good day in that church vicinity, and the Cameroon military. They start shoot how they climb that hill until they can't shoot for that church. They enter that church before they carry the body for grace move on for inside that church. No man in the target the church for Ambazonia. No man in the target the moderator. They complain for the moderator and say he decide for deliberately lie for cover up Cameroon. He lie say there was an explosion. He lie say the military they be shoot they return fire. He lie say he don't know who shoot grace and who shoot pastor. Where it be clear for the video them where they record them for that church that same day, the people that they talk say na military he open fire. Na only military he come for day. No man no talk anything about Amber. No man no talk anything about explosion. No man no the vex say Reverend Fonki in the support Amber. They the only talk na say how a reverend where would they expect say na he go stand for talk true without being afraid. Now he go stand for define what it happen for cover his own people them for ask for justice for his own Christian them for his church. He go come the lie for cover up the murder of his own Christian the way then they under he grace enough he talk for himself. Inside he report he actually blame Amber fighters them, saying that them be part of the problem for the war. How you go do even blame people where they no be big concerned about the killing of your own Christian? This is why our people are dying. My fellow country people, it be so bad in several cases where they kill people for ground zero. I don't call the family. The family they even fear for talk about the death of their pikin them, their father, their mommy them. Because they fear say Cameroon military, if he enter for they can't kill them because they don't talk truth outside. Now, which kind of life would they live them? Where would that be reduced so much? Where would they fear for even talk about our own death? We cannot accept to live as base, as less than human like this. We need to stop this relationship with Cameroon. We need to fight for free ourselves from these fears. Reverend Fonki, he be more concerned about his job and his money. Just for talk the truth, enough he talk. He go prefer for even close the Presbyterian church for Bali, for save his head, than for answer the problem, than for solve the problem. Even when would he confront you with the truth, he the one run away, he the one face the truth. When he face you with the truth, he the evade, he the deny for answer them, he the vex, say he go drop call, because if he face the truth, say don't lie, na an enabler for genocide, na an enabler for the killing of his own people. The blood of grace is in his hands. Our people, they need to know, say, the reason why would they die, while the Republic did they enter kill our people them anyhow, and any time we don't want them. Now because of people like Rev Fonki Samuel. Because they know, say, when they kill our people them, the Prime Minister, when the lap dog for Pobia, he go call the Fonki them for give the money, me then cover up the crime. Now why that way for 4 years, they kill Ambazonia them, the international community them, they no fit take am serious because all wetin Pobia need for do am now for pay and bribe people them like Fonki, corrupt people them worst past minister them for La Republic, me then go live with the international community. Buy time for Pobia for continue for become murder our people. These collaborators and enablers are worse than blacklegs.